Today is October 12th. We are about to head to Atlanta to attend Girls United Disrupt Summit of 2024. All dressed, I'm all ready to go. I think the big focus of this is just to take it in, meet new people, put myself out there and like see what shakes.
Bitch walk in the room. The type of bitch that make a nigga wanna jump the broom. He hit it once and got to tweaking like he on some shrooms. Bitch, I'm big mama, but ain't none of these niggas worth my womb.
So I graduated in 2019, fully set on becoming a sports and entertainment attorney. But that is just not how life works. You know, you tell God your plans and he giggles, he laughs. So I went to law school, very long story. I ended up switching over to the business school. And in business school, I had a lot more time on my hands, did the whole social media thing, downloaded it, and just fell in love with the community that I garnered off of there. And I think the moment for me, that transition from HBCU, Spelman, and everything, is at Spelman, all women, all black. I think one of my co-hosts called it a black Barbie land. I think it's very special. Every single comment that I get is from a black woman going through the same thing that I've gone through, and they're giving me advice, I give them advice. So I don't know if there was an exact moment. I think every single day there are little moments that show me like why I do this and why it's so important to me to give back to y'all give back to me. So yeah, you know, quarterly goals and, you know, how to curate the content. And I started thinking about my brand's purpose. I was like, okay, like these girls are really listening to me. Like I'm not just kind of sharing my story. Like people are actually taking advice. I can't just say anything. I have to have a purpose on this internet. And you know, I go back and forth and I've talked to multiple people, and sometimes people say that it's too niche. My purpose on the internet is so that black women can rest. That's like my only purpose. I believe in rest. I believe in convenience. I believe in what luxury means to you, and I'm very niche with that. And I've been told like maybe expand it. And it's like, no, I went to Spelman College. Like I believe black women should rest. I think we should travel. I think we should experience life. I think we should take a day off to follow our passions. Like that is truly my brand's purpose, and I think it comes out in whatever I do, whether you see a morning routine, whether you see a YouTube video, whether you see me talking to the camera. You can clearly see that I'm using my identity as a black woman, but I'm also talking to you as a black woman, and I'm also encouraging you and motivating you that you can achieve your dreams, but you ain't gotta hustle and go hard and, you know, expend yourself and, you know, tire yourself out. There's a way to do it that is softer, that is more authentic. So yeah, that's what I would say.
So I would really like to know how this whole friendship between the three of you guys came about, and how you guys were able to meet one another and build what you're able to build with one another. Because it's really awesome to see three successful black men come together and build not only just a friendship, but business relationships, and the fact that you guys inspire so many other people, and that you're able to also just list off, you know, all the wonderful attributes about one another.
Yeah, should I take this or do you want to take it?
I kind of want to take it a little bit. Okay, so DeAndre, he had a podcast and he invited me and Malik on it, and we went on there and we had like such a good time, and after that, we went out for drinks and like we just laughed and we talked, and then we created a group chat and we just started like talking every single day, and we just started like hanging out, and we realized like, wow, we really like each other. So it was never like a thing like we were gonna take the internet by storm, we're gonna get views, we're gonna do any of that. Like we really genuinely enjoyed each other company, and then like our friendship kind of just blossomed.
It was organic.
It was very
organic.
It was very organic and very unexpected. Like, so sometimes people always say like, I don't see how their friends, their personalities are so different. I think that's what makes it the best. And honestly, people don't know the behind the scenes, how much things we have in common and like similarities, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I think that we also all just balance each other out. Like we keep each other level-headed within different aspects of what we contribute to the friendship. So I think it's just so beautiful and just great to have them, and for them to be a part of my life and to be a part of theirs as well.
She's very emotional. Like, she gets
A lot of people also don't know that, like, I'm an only child and Dre's the only child. So our friendship is kind of like my first time of having, like, a brother. It's like the first time I've shared things, and it's the first time I've had to, like, you know, experience things with somebody else. Like, growing up with siblings in the house, that's something that, like, a lot of people take for granted. Like, I know your brother and your sister probably get on your nerves.
No.
But just that experience, all the things that y'all went through, y'all have the same experiences, that means a lot. And I want y'all to cherish that, because as the only child, it's like, I never got that, but now I do. I feel like I have baby brothers. So
My mom had 6 kids. So I'm always telling them, like, well, you only child, so I gotta understand I only children.
You have a favorite sibling?
Yes, I do. Alea, Tiffany, go back, cut back. That quick, fast, and hard. Y'all love my sister.
I love my sister too. Hey, Sophia.
Ain't wrong with me.
So what specific engagement techniques have you guys used to prove how effective you guys are growing your audience and building community, especially as you guys venture into your podcast?
That's definitely a you question. This is so we all have like titles in the group, and he's like the PR. Like
I'm that PR girl.
The PR girl.
I'm that PR girl. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't care what nobody says.
Put a little spin on it. You got it.
I think just being active, being consistent, and not really caring what people say, and like just being authentic. Like if you do something bad, people want to talk about it for 24 hours, but they're gonna move on to the next thing, because somebody else gonna do something crazy while I'm out of control, so they're gonna be over you.
Clock it.
Another thing that I would add to that, something that Raymond does, is Raymond is the same person on and off camera. Like, he compliments people on TikTok, but he compliments people in real life. And
all
like,
day.
That's like another thing that, like, just be who you are online, just be that light in real life, because that shines and that people can tell. And also, it's like, you don't have to look for PR moments, because they just happen when you're a good person.
Look, I love you. You always show me something.
So with that, have you guys faced any challenges or anything when it comes to being an influencer and you're dealing with so many thoughts, so many opinions? How do you make sure that you remain true to yourself and like authentic?
Okay, so I feel like I was in the military before, and that puts a lot of strain on your mental health. And I honestly feel like influencing is kind of worse in some ways, because it's like you're being perceived by millions of people online, and sometimes how you're perceived isn't who you actually are. And it's like you're constantly battling with how you're perceived versus who you really are. And it's like, I want to show people, it's like you're fighting to show people that you're really who this person that you think that you are, but it's like the internet is going to change the narrative, and it's like you have to learn how to not care. If you know you're a good person, like I just said about Raymond is one of the best friends I ever had in my life. You know, he's so nice to everybody he comes across.
I heard that.
So if you know that you're a good person, if you know you can't let how other people view you, because you can't change that. I can't change how you perceive me. I can only change the type of person that I am, and I know that I'm a good person. And the internet is very fickle on top of that. So don't try to like maneuver and try to please everybody. Just be yourself. Be a good person, put good things out into the world, and you're going to get blessed from it. And eventually, people are always going to see through all of the smoke.
Yeah, I want to add to that.
I want to add to that because I had a very hard time for a very long time accepting it, because the narrative about me is always he's elitist. And that's so far from our reality, and everyone who really knows me knows that. And the thing that my mom told me is she said, only start to worry about it when your people that are closest to you tell you that you really are that. It's like if the people that are closest to you don't tell you that, then it's not the case. Like she's like, you can't listen to everything that people say online. So that's one thing I do. And now when like things are like up in uproar, I don't really look at like the quotes, or I don't go quote surfing. I'll like maybe wait a day or two after it like dies down or something.
I think people build you up to bring you down. So it's like, who are you? Like, where are your credentials at with all these critiques? That's how I look at it. Like,
Clock it.
That's absolutely factual.
And making sure that we don't lose ourselves in our friend group. You know, it's like we all have niches. DeAndre doesn't lose sight of his corporate content and making sure he's still giving advice to Gen Z and the workforce. And I'm still very passionate about fashion and business. And Raymond uses his platform in so many ways to speak out about things that I feel like so many people choose to stay silent about. And I feel like none of us
lose sight of that, even with everything that we do together. And I feel like we also do a good job at holding each other accountable and making sure that, like, okay, we doing stuff, we having fun in the club, but DeAndre, don't forget you got content you got to make today. And like we do a good job of making sure that we stay and maintain individuals, and it's important in friend groups to not lose your individuality. And it's important to stay focused on your own goals. So I'm going back to college next semester.
I'll go first. If we're being honest, this blazer is really tight and I can't breathe. I just had to get that off my chest, sorry. My name is Sophia Dennis on everything.
If we're being honest, they fed us so good in the back. And I'm sitting up here and I am stuffed. I'm stuffed. Like, and I cleared the plate. Like, I ate it all.
If we're being honest, I'm wearing this suit to the plane, but I'm on the back of the plane. So they'll be like, well, you could have put that money on a higher ticket. Instagram is BD Trailer, bro.
I'm Jay Brown. I'm sorry. I don't know. If we being honest, I'm just really like gagged that all these beautiful people came here to like hear what we have to say. I'm so grateful for y'all. Thank y'all for following our journey. Oh my God, let me stop. Malik D. McIntyre everywhere. Thank you.
Did we do good, y'all?
Yeah. If we're being honest, I think this was the best panel of the day.
So now I want to kind of switch into some PPG talk. You guys were just at Joshua Tree. How was that?
That was so much fun. It was like a little rewind, reset with my girls. We tried to make sure we got a little content, but it was a lot of fun. It was very, very, very relaxing, and like just joking with them, playing around with them. It kind of like felt like we were back in the villa a little bit.
Yeah.
And like we would reminisce a lot. It's like, can you believe we wouldn't be like best friends if it wasn't for this show?
Yeah, for this show. And so like, how has it been navigating friendship with them? Do you feel like you guys are like bonded forever now because of this experience, or like just how are you navigating the friendship with Janae and Leah?
No, like it's amazing. Yeah. Like it's crazy. Like my family, all their family, they call each other like, oh, our other sisters. Like those are your sisters. And like I think us all having that experience on Love Island definitely made us closer, and like it's probably like nobody else in the world will understand what we went through on that show, like on and off camera. And like we're literally like family, and we really, 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 really hate when everyone is always trying to like put us against each other and be like, oh, this person should be doing this or this person. No, like we're all happy about everything we do. We all talk about it. Like we're like, oh my God, girl, like I get to meet so-and-so today. And we're all like, yeah. We're so happy for each other. We love each other. And it's like, even if we didn't have any of this and like it was just us, like that would be fine. Like, right. And we're all just happy and supportive of each other. So
yeah, like y'all all have y'all's own different lanes. I feel like
we're all like very different, low key.
Yeah.
So like I feel like each of us is kind of like venturing off in their own thing. So it's like not even something that people would really need to be comparing to begin with, because it's like we're all our own person. Like PPG will forever be PPG, but we're our own people, and we're kind of all going on different paths.
I love that. Give it up for that. So we just saw you with Rihanna. You like literally just posted with Rihanna. What do they call you? Like Serena, Savage, Fenty Nose, Carter, something like that. Y'all know. But you were just with Rihanna. You did your Sacred campaign. We have more coming with that. But just what can we expect from you going into 2025?
Yes, so I am actually working on a hair care brand.
Come on now.
I want something very easy and accessible for Black women, especially young Black women in college specifically, because I know when I was in college, I didn't have no money to do my hair, like to go get my hair done. Yes, I braided hair. I had a braiding business for like 4 years. So that's how I was kind of like making a little money, but like outside of that, it's like you kind of got to do your own hair. Like you get those braids, baby, you keep them in, because like what are we gonna do after that? So like some things to like help with protective styles specifically as well, like maybe some moves, maybe some edges, something that will make it easier on Black women to like upkeep their hair.
Definitely. And in the villa, everybody was complimenting like your hair a lot, but I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen interviews and things, but a lot of people don't know that you were doing the braids yourself, like keeping up with the maintenance.
Yeah. So I was taking them down, redoing them, like the little crown piece of it, touching it up all the time. Like anytime I was off camera, I had like clips in my head. And I think I said it before, like Miguel would call me like needlehead. Like I would be walking around the villa with clips. I'm like, no, y'all will not catch me on that camera with my flyaways. And I was like, we're gonna have to keep it cute.
Yeah, you kept the braids like tight, and I feel like you represented protective style so well on Love Island. Like it was like, yeah, that's braids. That's how we look at braids. That's how we look in braids. They still can be done. Still can have different hairstyles. I feel like you did that so well.
And I feel like I haven't seen like a lot of Black women on reality go with the protective style. Yeah. It's maybe like, we get like a wig or like a sew-on or something like that. All that would have been amazing. I would have loved to have me a little buzz down on the island. But like, let's be realistic. Like, my lace would have been at the back of my head. I was not dealing with that. So I would do my own wigs as well. But braids was like, it's easy. It's like I can go to sleep, I can wake up, I don't have to spend time like touching up. Yeah.
So, were you doing anybody's hair in the villa at all, or?
I was literally the hairstylist of the villa. Like, sewing Janae's wig, to braiding Leah's hair, to braiding, like, Kayla or Liv's hair, like, before they went to sleep so their hair could be wavy. Obviously doing Cordell and Huz anytime that he needed to wake up and be like, maybe can we do my hair today? Yeah.
So going back to I feel like we're all over the place with this conversation, so sorry y'all, but I'm gonna go back to you launching your hair care brand, and something that you and I talk about. If anybody didn't know, I manage Serena as well, so
yes, we are.
So that's why, but we talk about being an entrepreneur and how important that is to you, not just creating content, which is something that you can easily do coming out the villa, but like starting your own brand, doing your own thing. Like, how important is that for you?
That is extremely important to me because I don't want to just stick in one realm of like something. I am definitely a person that likes to venture out and try new things and, just put myself out there. So like I can't see myself kind of like just sticking to one thing, like very, very versatile. And yeah, like honestly, like my goal is really to just uplift Black women, all ages, like specifically those growing ages, because I know I would have loved to see a little more of us, like growing up, like even on reality TV. I know they say reality's not that good, but whatever. Anyway, we all watch it, so yeah, like that's extremely important to me. I don't want to just be like another pretty face behind the screen that's like, oh, all she's doing is like posting cute stuff. No, like I want to make an impact, I want to make a difference, and I want to, help.
Definitely, I love that. Give it up for that. So, Serena, I wanted to just really talk about elevation within like love and what you would tell somebody who is looking to like for that satisfaction in a relationship and like who may be struggling in one and just trying to figure out themselves. Like, what would you, from you being in the villa, what did you learn from that and just like advocating for yourself?
Yeah, so I can really talk about this all day. Like, I can really talk about this all day, but honestly, I can't preach self-love anymore. Like, loving yourself is so, so important. Like, even if it's like you take however much time you need, it could be a day, it could be a month, it could be a year, to like sit down and know like your boundaries, know your standards, know what you want, what I can like, yes, I'll like shake on this, but this is a non-negotiable. Like, figure those out, and then like, it'll make navigating a relationship so much easier. So I'll preach that every single time. And like standing firm in what you do. Like, I'm like this now, but because I was not. Like, it took me hitting my head a lot of times, took me getting drugged through the mud by multiple men to be like, okay, you know what, actually I'm not going to live my life like this. I have to figure something out. So it was definitely a journey, and I think that Love Island honestly helped because it brought me Cordell, who actually, like, he makes me feel like very, very special, very like, yeah. I can go on about that, but that's not what we're talking about.
It's not what we're here for.
But like having a man that is like extremely supportive and someone that wants to see you grow and like will grow with you. So yeah.
And when you entered the villa, were you kind of like, did you know you're like, I'm standing on business, like I'm not letting anyone play with me, or like what was your mindset about relationships when you entered the villa?
Yeah, it was definitely. I'm not going to let anybody run over me. I'm not going to let, like anybody disrespect me because that's what I'm used to doing or not used to doing. Because, like, I'm not going to lie, my personality is very much like, oh, like, you're not about to do this, but sometimes I'll be like, okay, but I'll go back. So I was like, I'm not gonna, you know, like I do that. But yeah, I would definitely say I was just like, I'm gonna stand on business. I'm gonna stand in what I believe. I'm gonna stick to my standards, my goals, and if that means that I have to go home, that means I have to go home. Like, yeah.
So when you were there, did you think that you were gonna win?
No, I didn't think I was gonna win.
No, you were shocked?
I was very shocked because like I was extremely like back and forth wishy-washy in the beginning. Like it was just I was all over the place. I was like I don't really know, fighting my feelings, and obviously me and Cordell didn't have the easiest ride in the villa. So I'm like, they probably tired of us. I was like, they probably got off this ride a few stops ago. So, you know, we're going to stick it out and have fun while we can. We would tell each other, we would be like, all right, baby, this could be our last day. Like, we got to do something fun. We got to go do some crazy, you know.
Yeah. So, do you know you, like, single-handedly put Love Island on the map? Yeah. the doxy, do you know that, like, you single-handedly put Love Island on the map? Do you know that?
No, that's crazy. That's crazy. I was like crashing out after the doxy. I was like, God, I just made a fool of myself on television. I was like, I can't believe. I was like, why would y'all let me talk to him in this state? Like, I was so mad. I was like, no, like I literally did too much. But yeah, I mean, I like that. I still can't watch it.
Have you told me you don't really watch the episodes? Or you've watched some of them or what?
No, I've seen like clips. I think the clips that I've seen is more than enough for my eyes.
Yeah. And you know, obviously we were kind of talking about being in the villa and things like that, but as you transition out and as you sort of find your way, is there anything that you're learning along the way just about love, relationships, something you've learned outside of the villa?
Yeah, honestly, to just let go a little bit. I can be a little uptight. I'm a workaholic. I'm like, you know, schedule plan. I need this, I need that. It needs to be in this way. If it's not, I'm freaking out. Right. So, like, honestly, and even Cordell, he's a very go with the flow type of person. So, like, he's very like, oh, no, we're going to do this today. Or, and I'm like, but was that in the plan? Was that on this, like, and he's like, no, like, I'll rip that up. So I'm like, okay. So, like, him plus just, like, this new lifestyle has really taught me to just, like, let go a little bit and just, like, have fun. Like, enjoy the moments, especially, like, while you're in them. Don't just, you know, like, look, okay, I need to do this, this, and this. And, like, forget, you know, to have fun.
Yeah. What do you want young women to know about the reality television space? It's something, but there is a place for us, and there always will be, even if we have to push our way through. And if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. So if there's anybody that's interested in reality, I would say definitely don't be like, oh no, I don't want to do it because of the way Black women. You demand it. Like, there's no like, oh, I don't want it. You demand it, or go somewhere else. Definitely. And I think I know this, but everything was 100% true from Love Island in the villa.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you know TV, you know, obviously producers may, like, manipulate editing clips or whatever, but, like, nothing that you didn't want to do, you didn't have to do. Like, everything was, I would say, like, 99% authentic. It was, especially this cast. Like, I honestly can't speak for other casts, but this cast specifically, it was insane. Like, the villa was literally up in flames, like, every night. Like, it was crazy. I think nobody would remember the cameras were there. Like, we were really cutting up. So I think that, like, that's another thing. Like, the producers were probably just running around, like, how can we tame them? We could not be tamed. Like, we were really just going off, like, going rogue. Like, oh, like, two people arguing to say something. You're not really supposed to be doing that. But, like, you know. So it's like, I don't care what production wants me to wait to have. I'm doing it now. Like, so it was a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And, you know, you've been really big on standing on business and just, you know, I think we saw that in the first couple of episodes.
My way is right. I could have handled a lot of things better. So, like, standing on business is, like, unique to yourself. Like, whatever that means for you and for you knowing your worth and you being like, okay, I said I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. You can do it by, like, hey, I'm blocking you. I'm never talking to you again. That's one way. I mean, one way is crashing out. I wouldn't suggest that. But, you know, there's different ways. But, like, honestly, just knowing your worth is extremely important. I feel like that'll take you a long way in relationships, in friendships, in family, in your workspace. Like, knowing your worth, like, can go a really long way, especially as a Black woman, because they don't want you to know your worth. So make sure that y'all get on that. But I know y'all do.
Love Island produced a gym. Look at you. Raymond, what's the next question, girl?
Okay, so this one is for Alicia. Okay, so what type of strategies do you have to turn your followers into loyal customers?
So for me, I'm coming from two different angles. So for those who don't know, I have my own business. It's called Range Beauty. We are makeup for skin that acts up. I've been on Shark Tank and really creating some cool platforms. And so I'm coming from the brand point, but then I also made sure to turn my own personal Instagram into my brand as well. So doing a lot of business partnerships, and so always making sure that my content aligns with my audience, plugging things that aren't always sponsored, and actually showing off things that I consistently use in my day-to-day when running my business to gain the trust and loyalty from your audience. And I feel like that's what helps me convert whenever I'm implementing other tools or strategies. You really want to make sure you're building that trust and that loyalty and making sure that you're not just coming off as like a sponsored page or you're only posting when you have deals. Like, post about what's going on in your day-to-day to create that audience.
And I think another thing that people don't talk about enough, or maybe you don't know, but call to actions are a really, really big thing. So like as simple as just adding...
Take
I'll this real quick. It doesn't work. Just adding in that call to action, so telling people to click the link in your bio or sign up for text now or something. Those things really do help because sometimes people just don't think. So if you just add, click the link, you'll be surprised at how many people click it.
All right, so for Kayla, how important is visual aesthetics in your Instagram feed, and what guidelines do you follow to maintain it?
Okay, I don't know if this is the best question for me. Raymond and I were laughing backstage because I'm really not an aesthetic girly. I really admire the girls that do it, that are like visual architects, and your feed is nudie blue, and then it transfers to pink. Because mine is just random. It's given sporadic, but I think that's also a reflection of just my brand and like the authenticity that I try to lead with on social media. I think you have to find what works for you. I think at the very most, what I will do is make sure that the thumbnail or the main photo on my page varies. I do this pose a lot. So if it's too many arm up elbow photos, I will strategically not do that so that the flow is a little bit better.
Good morning, it is October 13th. I wanted to come on the camera and kind of close out this vlog. Essence Girls United Summit 2024 was one for the books. I truly feel so fueled, so rejuvenated. I also feel this was, in a sense, like a solo date. I didn't know anyone going into it, and I am so thankful that I just took the leap of faith and went. The first reason why I'm very thankful that I went is because of just the impact and knowledge that I learned from all the individuals who shared on the panels I attended, on the office hours that I attended, and I'm very appreciative of that and their time and being willing to come. The second reason is because if you ever want to go again and you're thinking, should I be a VIP? You should go VIP. I have a bunch of goodies. I'm gonna go through this later, but I'll put a picture on the screen of how many goodies I got from Girls United. I think that was so well worth it. I think it was also very inspirational as well, like thinking about like, where could I be a year from now when I go again? Like, where could I be in this space, this place? Also figuring out how can you advocate or network, right? I think that's a big reason why people go to things like this, is like to get the content, to post about it, but also to meet other people within the media space. And I definitely dibble-dabbled with that, and it was really, really fun. But I think the main thing that I took away from the whole entire experience is like, go for what you want to go for. Don't be afraid of it. I feel like that's a big thing. The third reason, and I think the final reason I'm very thankful for this experience, is because of community. I have a 10-year long friendship where the person didn't mind giving me a ride there and giving me a ride back. And I know that's not very common within friendships today. And we could talk about friendships and the dynamic and the dichotomy in a different video. But the reason why I say this is because community really does matter. And being able to have a community that will like support you and like the endeavors that you want to do matters a ton, and I'm very thankful for it. I loved my time, I loved my experience, and I feel like everything that I captured really were like nuggets of wisdom that can help someone else. That is all for this video. As always, my name is Hannah. If you enjoyed, give it a like, subscribe, and comment down below if you went to GU Disrupt Summit this year or you're thinking of going next year, because I think it was super, super fun. So worth it. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Turn up for the night. Real thing, she's no average girl. Too fine, oh she mine. She's so damn fine. I just wanna call on you. Money just fall on you. Not a thing I won't do. Ooh yeah.